It is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026, and we are live with Strawbunny Slime Streams. I'm your host, Mocha, and today, after my little birthday celebration back on Friday, we're going to be getting back into the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion. Sonic Adventure was a very nice one-off, and before I officially get back into Oblivion, I just want to... Y'all, they gave Tangle and Whisper voices today. Tangle and Whisper from IDW Sonic have been hinted at and teased in the games as far back as Frontiers, not very far back, but you know, where Sonic explicitly name drops Tangle if you wait around certain structures for 10 minutes. Not to get too into this non sequitur before we launch into the game, I am thrilled at every mention of IDW characters in canon. To know that they are coming into Crossworlds by the end of the month is very exciting. And now I'm over the moon because they have official voice acting, and it's fantastic. Oh my god. I didn't know what to expect from their voices, but I couldn't ask for better. I couldn't imagine better. Alright, brief bit of Sonic franchise gushing out of the way. Let's get to Oblivion. So, when last I'd left off, we'd finished up the Thieves Guild questline. I became the new head of the Thieves Guild, which meant I inherited the Grey Fox's mask, which I'm never going to be using, because wearing that thing gives you a constant bounty. All the guards will attempt to arrest you on sight. That also means I have no reason to keep the chameleon suit on, because I'm not planning on doing the Dark Brotherhood during this playthrough. So, I've officially switched over to the Imperial Dragon armor we got for beating the main story, which will last us just long enough to get through Knights of the Nine. That is what we're starting on today. We have a pilgrimage to go on. We have to find... I don't remember if it's 8 shrines or if it's 9, because there's 9 divines, but the old ways are the 8 and 1, so... Let's see here. Way Shrines map. Looks like it's 9. Alright, so we have to hit up all 9 of these shrines to make any progress in Knights of the Nine. It doesn't have to be these specific ones. As long as we hit one of each of the divines, we're good. But this is the quickest and easiest way for us to, you know where we're going. So, I could fast travel all of these, but I think I want to take the scenic route. We'll start, since we're in Frostcrag Spire, I'm going to start with the Shrine to Akatosh, and I guess work back. Actually, here to Julianos to Kinnereth. See the sights, smell the highwaymen. Not really much of a pilgrimage if you don't pilgrim. It would save time if I didn't pilgrim, but like, I want an excuse to just run around the world space, because it's been a while since I've done that without just fast traveling to my destination. So, we'll start with the Shrine to Akatosh, just south of Bruma. Check to make sure I've got decent carry capacity, which I do. And we are headed to the west. I could take my horse. That seems like a happy medium. Take the horse, move around the landscape quicker, but I'm still moving around the landscape naturally. Speaking of someone who cut their teeth on Morrowind, fast travel continues to make my teeth itch. You know, I get that. Conversely, I got my start with Oblivion, so Morrowind not having easy access to fast travel left me a little stymied. Like, I managed. It was just weird. This isn't the road. Is this gonna kill my horse? This better not kill my horse. It's an Elder Scrolls horse. They're good at climbing down things. And up things. It's basically a goat. Crave that mineral. I don't think horses in Elder Scrolls games crave anything, which Ostensibly makes them more convenient than trying to ride around a goat, because a goat would probably stop for salt. Whereas an Elder Scrolls horse just goes. Just goes. They crave criminal justice. You know, that's true. Do any crimes in front of a horse, it will get added to your bounty. Oh, that's an ogre. Alright. Oh my god. That was a fucking launch into half there, huh? A bandit, though, so that's fine. That saved us some trouble. So we're starting to run into ogres now. Come on, horsey. Ogres, plural. Bandit had mithril and Dwemer gear. Yeah, just scattershot stuff. Why are they making bear noises? Stock bear noises from the ogres. That's weird. I don't remember them doing that. My sibling says they may be close relatives. I can't disprove that. Alright, Way Shrine should be right around here. Oh, nope, a little more north. A little more north, up the hill. Perfectly good path up the hill. I'm not sure why I'm deciding to off-road it. That must be the Way Shrine we're after. I really love the Mountain Dew green they use for glass weaponry and armor in Oblivion. I wish Skyrim kept this color. This is the perfect shade of green to me. And not just because it's Mountain Dew. Continue your penance to earn the gods' forgiveness. I have prayed at the Way Shrine of Akatosh. You know what? I should hotkey that map. I'm not going to need torches for a bit. Alright, down around to the southeast of the Imperial City is where we will find the next shrine. It's going to be a bit of a ride. Doesn't help that this is the slowest and weakest horse you can get in the entire game. I love the nonsense that is the player's characterization as implied by all the things you can do in one playthrough. Yeah, joining all 4 guilds, becoming the Grand Champion at the arena, the Divine Crusader from Knights of the Nine, etc., etc. It's a bit funny. Not to mention, you join the Blades as part of the main story. You don't really get a say in that one. It just happens. Is this the right way? I'm still on the road. I just figured it would have curved around toward the city by now. Which I guess if I'd waited 5 more feet, it would have. That's a mountain lion. That's a cougar. 10 for 5. No, thank you. You can get a 10 for 1 off wolves. It's a little funny, the weight to value ratio on pelts is so slow to... Oh. Highwayman. Nope, just a bandit. With a glass battle axe. Not bad. 1,050 for 62, but for 62 it's bad, so... Let's just give him his battle axe back. There you are, sir. Despawn with it. Morrowind feels like a single sequence of events in one playthrough, but Oblivion and Skyrim feel like they occur during a very minor dragon break. I could believe that. I mean, Oblivion especially I could believe. No, both of them have some merit to, if you want to say it's a dragon break happening. That's a brown bear. I'm taking care of this problem before it becomes one. There you are, sir. Oh, it was Ulrich Leland. He would be fine. He's an essential. I don't know entirely why he's essential, but he's fine. Interrupted his breakfast. Yeah, I guess so. Or at the very least his morning workout. Dude just goes and fights bears shirtless. Oh, the Roxy Inn. Ulrich Leland is an essential part of the ecosystem. I like that. They're using your name without permission. You should sue. You should sue the Empire. That's a highwayman. I don't think he's going to be able to catch up to... Oh, but the mountain lion is catching up with my horse just fine. Oh, boy. Okay. I guess we're not stopping for anything. That mountain lion's gonna kill my horse. For what money? Have you seen how broke they are? I mean... I snooped around and found a couple of 1,000 gold to hawk to Thieves Guild members. I don't see why you couldn't. And that wasn't even the royalty I was stealing from. Aside from, like, the first place I thieved from, anyway. I wish this mountain lion would leave me the fuck alone. Like, my horse is on a time limit at this point. That might have saved us. Provided that wasn't the guard hitting my horse. Better not have been. Oh, thank God. That is a Spriggan. Nature's Guardian's my foot. Burned out building here. Oh, horse. Burned out magic building here. All things alchemical. Is my horse tilted now? No. Well, maybe not all things anymore. Maybe it was true once upon a time. That's an Iliad ruin. We're not going for those. Probably not a good idea to put all things alchemical in one place. Might be why it burned down.
How can I assist you, Chen?
It's not even the worst thing about it. All Things Alchemical belongs to an NPC you can also encounter in a shop of that same name in Skingrad. She's, I'm pretty sure she's from Morrowind. Not as in a returning character, but as in she moved over. Oh, wait. I've gone too far. I think. Yeah, I have. But as in, she shares a familial name with one of the wizard houses in Morrowind. And she's got some similarly kooky questions to ask, which I will not be voicing aloud. Alright, where is this shrine? That's a Googer. Where's this shrine? Oh, am I looking right at it? I'm looking right at it. Okay. Real interest in recreational necromancy. That's the one. The Way Shrine of Julianos. Continue your penance to earn the god's forgiveness. Alright, next one. When the road bends south, hang a right and run off into the woods. Interesting noise that deer made. Sounded more like a snarl than just sniffing. That's another Spriggan. And another Spriggan. Much slower than mountain lions, at least. Less inclined to try and keep up with my horse. Possibly maul my horse. That's a village map marker with nothing but burned out buildings. Something bad happened here, I have to assume. Cropsford. Faintest recollection of that name. In keeping with this being, I guess, the faintest recollection of a town. Innkeeping there, not likely. Yeah, I guess not. Nobody wanted to keep the inn at Cropsford, I guess. Okay, I'm being pursued. Is it by that troll, or... No, I passed by an imp. Road is starting to bend south. Once it turns sharply south, Yeah, the imps in Oblivion aren't nearly as fun as most imps I've seen, though, so... Head due east, off into the wilderness. Probably not the cool kind. Definitely not the cool kind. Macamentain, probably... I wonder if this is at least in the general vicinity of the right thing. Wait. Small lake. I think I remember seeing a small lake on the map. And a wolf. Okay, so now I know what my horse sounds like if something tries to hit me and hits the horse instead. Cannot read when enemies are nearby. That must be the way shrine. Way Shrine of Kinnereth. Yeah, nah. There we go. Next one. I will have to kill this imp before it kills my horse. Shooting lightning bolts at my horse. Back on the road, we head south until this little gap between these sides of the southernmost section of Cyrodiil. Head straight across that gap, and we'll hit the Shrine to Stendarr. Big rabies problem. A lot of problems in Cyrodiil. And the Empire's not doing a damn thing about them. I bring that up. It dawns on me after the fact, yeah, they're not doing a damn thing about anything that's going on. Again, I point to the goblins, mud crabs, and rats that are just hanging out down in the sewer with the slaughterfish. That town ain't safe. I know I said I wouldn't talk too much more about the Tangle and Whisper voice acting. I can't get over how much of a delight that is. For me, at the very least. That's the highlight of the day. Mud crabs, rats, and slaughterfish are one thing. Buggers are ubiquitous. Yeah, but goblins, certainly not. Yeah, come here. Did magic as a practice take a nosedive after the first era? No, because it's still pretty popular now in the third era. Glass Warhammer, 1500 for 75. 75, how am I looking? I can take that with me for a while. Who and why? Another bandit. Okay. Third guy? Third guy. Combat music, why are you still playing? Third guy, where you at? Blunt weapon made of the lightest material known. Well, it's a big chunk of the lightest material known. It'd be one thing if it was just a small, fragile pane of glass, of course, but like, you know, like my sword. It'd be one thing if it was my sword, but, oh. Who the fuck? Who the fuck? They got archers out here? Hello? Who dares? You know that imp is gonna go for my horse as soon as I... I hear you now. You... I beg your pardon? They're trapped in the rock? Trapped in the rock. This is a new one. This is a new one, folks. I've never encountered an enemy that was stuck in a rock. AoE spell. I don't have any. Well, wait. Do I still have that? No, I don't. Alright. Well, the easier solution is to just leave. She can't catch up to me. 2008 TF2 strats. Yeah, building a fucking sentry gun under the spawn. That's a Team Green member right there. I genuinely, the first time I saw the bow, I thought it was just floating in midair. I wish there was mounted combat. I don't like having to hop off my horse every 10 feet just to kill whatever's coming at me this time. Like this guy. That's another Warhammer. I don't think I want another Warhammer that badly. Sorry, I'm late. Unrelated. Everyone should go. I have been saying the highlight of my day is having Tangle and Whisper finally speak in something. I said it at the start of the stream. I said I wasn't going to say it again. I said it again like 5 minutes ago. I am a Sonic the Hedgehog addict. Anyone who knows me knows this. And anyone who doesn't know me needs only 20 minutes with me in a room to find out. And you'll say it again. You're damn right I will. Give me any excuse and I will say it's a joy to me that they have voices. God. By the way, for those only just joining us, Ori and Sonia, I believe that would be the two of you in particular, the plan today is to go on a pilgrimage to get all the way shrines of the 9 divines. And specifically to go on that pilgrimage without fast traveling to them, because I want an excuse to see the world again. Been a minute. Is that bandit still aggroed onto me? Is that why the music is still going? Actually serious real shit. If it turns out they get voices for Crossworlds, we've got to do a festival. You know what? I'd be game. I'd be game for that. Oh, see, it didn't stop the Black Horse Courier lady running by, but you're gonna stop me?
This is a holdup. Hand it over or die.
Do you have any idea who you're talking to?
We can play it that way if you like. The matter. Getting tired. Ah!
Broken mithril boots. Guy, what the hell were you planning? Ooh, 2,800 for 84. Almost twice the value. For just a little more than the standard weight. Yeah, I'll put the glass warhammer back. I'm keeping the ebony one. Well, back, quote unquote. This guy can hold on to it. Alright. Looking for a point at which these two roads nearly converge. And I don't think I'm there yet. What's the lookout point here? Is the wrecked boat? I think it's the wrecked boat. It's a pretty cool lookout point. Mouth of the Panther. I can go in. Quick detour. I want to see what's in the ship. Ghosts. Ship's haunted. I won't need torches, I say. And then I do this to myself. I still have the torches. Anything in here? No. Anything in here? No. Anything in here? No. Anything in here? No. When I say anything, I should probably make it clear I'm talking about specifically calipers and tongs. Lower deck. Another ghost. Wonder if ghosts looking and acting so different in Skyrim is a canon thing. I don't know that it is. You could probably make it one, but by default, I don't think it is. I can hear another one. Yup. Hey, bud. And there's an even lower deck. Hold, please. Damn bots. Ban that. There we go. Stream's haunted. So, oh, that was the mid deck. Okay. Mid's right. Ooh, nope. Repair hammer. I can't make jokes anymore. Oh. Something inaccessible behind that door, huh? Interesting. No more jokes. Find a plate. Nah, I'm trying to play this more or less fairly. I I don't think I've used console commands except for a one-off where I was considering, quote-unquote, stealing the banners off of Leowen Castle. Oh, there's a ladder up to the captain's cabin. And that must be the captain. Now, that said, I'm realizing, Ori, it's only just registering to me, but I am at least realizing it now. You specifically said, find a plate and clip through, and I said, no, I try not to use console commands, which is not at all the thing you were getting at. So, I do occasionally use, system exploits, but... System exploits? That's not the right way to describe it. I've used glitches, but only a dupe glitch for convenience, because I didn't want to spend the next 4 streams ransacking Oblivion gates for a chameleon suit, when I could just dupe the sigil stones myself and be done with it. It was a Skyrim joke anyway. Thieves Guild without stealing is... Oh. That's a... You can play the Thieves Guild without stealing? Surely not. You can also do the Dark Brotherhood without... I've got a lot to say about Skyrim's handling of the... Okay, that's a Will-o'-the-Wisp. I'm going to kill that real quick, because if I don't, it'll kill me. I've got a lot to say about Skyrim's handling of its guilds, and not a lot of what I have to say is good. Oh, second Will-o'-the-Wisp. Okay, my character has decided power attacks are no longer part of her repertoire. Neither of these are intended. Okay, alright. Why can't I power attack anymore? You can do the college without magic. That's just funny. I think it's right about here. So just a little further this way. Drain intelligence includes martial arts. I guess that's true. You hit someone on the head hard enough, that'll count as drain intelligence. I cast Fist. Tends to be my approach to magic in Elder Scrolls games. Except now that I'm actually playing a character who's been using spells, I'm realizing I've been missing out on a lot. Speaking of missing out on things, I was expecting this would just be like... Nope, there's a bridge. Alright, cool. I was expecting there to be a bridge, didn't see one, turns out the draw distance was just bad. Funny as hell that when you get picked for a mech op in Final Fantasy XIV, they have you lock into an unskippable cutscene while teleporting you to the fate location. Alright, this one is the Shrine to Stendarr. Big melee beat stick behavior, but with self-made enchanted gear support. I do that. I do that all the time. I've prayed at the Way Shrine of Stendarr. Can I use power attacks now? I'm back to power attacking. Alright. Now we follow this road north until just past Breville. We'll head around Breville. No reason for me to go through. Well, I could offload the ebony warhammer I picked up. That might be the thing to do. That's a land dreg. Hello. Haven't seen one of you guys in forever. I haven't played Oblivion to a high enough level where land dregs. I know Dragonkind are varied, but that's just... Well, yeah, it is just a crab. Well, a crab person. A denizen of the uncontinent of Lig. Adapted for life on land instead of in water. I freaking love Lig. Finding out about that was my intro to the weird lore side of Elder Scrolls. Thought it was a later stage in their life cycle. It might be. It might be. I don't know much about Dreg life cycles, I just know that they come from Lig. Nernroot. And the bridge is being guarded by a will-o'-the-wisp, so... Why can't I? You know, that's a good question. I haven't been hearing the Nernroot either. Not sure what the deal is. But they've all been dead silent. So, Lig, while it's somewhere in the modded game checker computer. Lig, while it's still in the vicinity of relevant to the conversation, is the imprint of Tamriel, this continent, on a... It's tough to try and explain this. It's easier if I'd have a script in front of me, but the gist is every so often... the world of Nirn, not Tamriel, Tamriel is the continent, the world of Nirn gets unmade and remade, and every time that happens, it's sort of like... the important continent of the setting gets switched to the next one over. I think I've mentioned that Akavir is the eastern continent, and it's supposed to be a loose impression of the future of this world, whereas the Redguard continent, the name of which is escaping me at the minute, the western continent, is a reflection of the past. I will definitely take that dagger. Thank you. Yokuda, thank you. So, Yokuda is a reflection of the past, Akavir is a reflection of the future, but that also implies that at one point in the planet's cycle, Tamriel was a future continent, back when Yokuda was the main one. And sure enough, what we ended up with in the process of one continent phasing out of relevance and one continent becoming relevant was Tamriel's previous incarnation got an imprint on this world known as Lig. Now, we never see Lig, we don't hear it talked about much, if at all. But, in the deeper lore, it's where the dregs come from. Is all that far future stuff still quasi-canon with Aetherius travel and such? Yes. Yes, it is. In fact, you don't even have to look that far into the future. By the 5th era, which is sometime after Skyrim, we end up having to colonize the moons. Vivek goes to Lig to screw around for a bit. That sounds like Vivek. That sounds like something Vivek would do. Anyway, Lig is where the dregs came from. Dregs? I think it's dregs. I'm going to say dregs came from. And it's also where Mehrunes Dagon was made. The Daedric Prince of Destruction and Change that we had to deal with at the tail end of the main story for Oblivion was not exactly born in Lig, but remade in Lig. Built, you might say. Kind of. Kind of built. Spriggans would probably be really susceptible to fire damage. Maybe I should try Fire Spell next time I see one. What just snarled at me? Something snarled and took a pot shot. If I turn around, it's going to catch me. Alright. Up past Bravil, keep going north. Oh, me, sorry. You're good, Sonia. It's all good. Why'd you swipe at my horse, though? Just so we're on the same page? Oh, I don't like horses. You know, that's fair. I can't fault you for that one. Zenithar, continue your penance to earn the god's forgiveness. Horses aren't real. They don't seem real. Right, I'm headed pretty much due north and a little west. North by northwest from the shrine to Zenithar, we'll find a shrine to Talos. Which I think means... yeah, I might want to stop following the road here. Well, hold on. If I go to about here... let's see how close that is. And I'm getting pursued by what? Sonia, is that you again? No, that's a Minotaur. Yo, hold up, hold up, hold up. I gotta fight everything once. $55 for 5, decent ratio. Not great. It's not really all that much better than a 10 to 1 off a wolf pelt, and I haven't been picking those up, but 55 is a bigger number than 10, so it's got my attention. And what is chasing me now? Oh. How can the brown bears be more manageable than the black bears? Why was that one so much easier? Because it wasn't pouncing as much, probably. Which, why would they not have it do that? Is it just, oh, there's another brown bear. Uh-oh. No? Pounce, pounce, pounce. There we go. That's what I was expecting to see. Oh, I know we've been over this. It's just like... black bears in Oblivion don't seem to be able to stop doing that pounce swipe, and it's incredibly aggressive, makes them move much quicker than I want them to. Here's the Way Shrine of Talos. That's 7 out of 9, I believe. No, that's 6 out of 9. Okay. Mara, RK, and Dibella. Let's go around to Dibella first, then head down to Mara and then RK. Remove my marker. Anyway, what I've been trying to say. Black bears do this swiping pounce attack, and they do it a lot, and it makes them... It's a really good gap closer that does respectable damage to me, specifically, and that's the problem. Whereas brown bears, that's the first time I've seen one do it 3 times in a row like that, as opposed to black bears that... I think I saw one just do it, what, 6 to 8 times in a row? Gap closer. What's the black bear 2-minute rotation? It's actually pretty freeform. It's a lot like Black Mage, which is appropriate if you think about it. That's another Minotaur. I completely failed to spot check on that. I don't think they're fast enough to keep up with my horse. But I could be wrong. Is this hack dirt? This looks like... Nope, Hell's Gate. Alright. Y'all keep on keeping on. Don't need a bow of freezing, thank you. Back to the road. Man, what was that battle cry? Come up with a better one next time. Ugh. Why is there just a Daedroth hanging out here? This is the second time I've seen this NPC. Just completely unarmored. Walking the path southwest of the Imperial City. Secret boss. Nah, Oblivion's got one of those, but it's a lot less interesting. A lot less interesting than random passersby on the road. Now, here's a shrine that wasn't marked on the map. Who is this for? Because if it's for Dibella, Mara, or Arke, we're in business. Dibella! Let me guess. Mud crab? This, oh, nope, mountain lion. Alright. Well, change of plans. We don't need to go to Dibella's anymore. We're hitting up Mara and then Arke. And there's a boar. Yeah. Okay. I'm over-reliant on the world map this game offers. I've never actually bothered to learn much of the roads. That could be a fun challenge. Make a mod that disables the map. No fast travel, and no being able to see where in the world you are.
You get any closer and I'll turn your bones to ash. Back off.
Okay. It seems uncalled for to me, but what do I know? I kind of want to kill that guy. I'm not gonna, but I am the champion of Cyrodiil. I think they'd allow me to kill one guy. Right? If you're like the hero of the hour, you're allowed to murder one person. Why are NPCs just randomly assholes in Bethesda games? Yeah, good question. The ones in Morrowind kind of made sense. Morrowind is an insulated community. Insular community. A lot of, that's another Minotaur. And a Spriggan. 2-for-1 special. Morrowind is a very insular community. If you're not a Dark Elf, they're probably not going to take kindly to you. And if you are a Dark Elf, you probably still shouldn't go near any of the wizards. So it makes sense for them to be jerks there. And then in Skyrim, everyone's an asshole because it's Skyrim and it's bleak and gray and edgy. And everyone's supposed to be an asshole. But Oblivion, I can find hide nor hair for an explanation. I'm just encountering every enemy in the game. Every single type of enemy in the entire game. They're making up for lost time here. Will-o'-the-wisps. Minotaurs. That bear is going after my horse. And my horse isn't really making it easier. Oh, yeah. Cool sword, right? Glass claymore. Picked it up off a vampire. Enchanted, too. Not that that matters right now, because the enchantment's out. People are more reasonable in Fallout 3 and 4 than in Starfield, or... In Starfield, they're jerks? Let's repair my gear. I'm sure something I've got has to be, like, low durability by now. Yeah, yup. Ooh. Alright. Pop a repair hammer. There's a trade authority guy in Neon who wants to make it very clear he hates my guts before I can even trade with him. Oh, jeez. There we go. Right, the dreg. Almost forgot the dreg. It probably didn't forget me. It did not. These guys are making Geiger counter noises. I just noticed that. It has been a minute since I've saved. I'm getting paranoid about the game crashing. Oh, I haven't saved at all this stream. I'm really glad I saved then. I'm really glad I thought to do that. Imagine if I just lost the last hour's progress because because it didn't occur to me I should. Alright. Member of the Watch had beef with a black bear, I guess. But not enough beef to loot it. Just let it tumble down the side of the mountain. Are you gonna come back for your horse, guy? He better come back for his horse. Right past... I think that's Skingrad. Goblin. Every 20 feet, I gotta stop and kill the next thing over. Everyone comes back for their horse. They better. Why did I loot that lockpick? Like, yeah, it's 3 gold and costs me nothing to pick up, but like, 3 gold isn't anything. Like returning to the scene of the crime. Attack me again. There you go. A member of the Imperial Legion actually doing something about a goblin. Now I have seen everything. Don't do it in their own city. I figure there's no reason for them to clear out the roads. I'm kind of tickled by how many different kinds of enemies I've just suddenly encountered on the road here. Like, I've filled out just about the whole bestiary at this point, haven't I? Black bears, brown bears, mountain lions, timber wolves, imps, spriggans, land dregs, ogres, minotaurs. At this point, I think the only enemy I haven't seen in the game, well, in the base game anyway, is a storm elemental. Atronach, not elemental. They're called Atronachs. Alright, so once again, it is just past Skingrad, and then head north and slightly... or... no, not north. West and slightly north. So, hereabouts. Yeah, there it is. That's 8 out of 9. As soon as the game tells me, thank you. And the 9th is due west of Kvatch. Oh. Another bandit? Really? I guess I'll kill this one too. There's 2 bandits. Is there any tactical advantage to the spin move? I feel like the battle axe spin move. The MLG bros. Baffle with bullshit. That seems like the most likely explanation. For when you're surrounded by 6 guys hitting you all simultaneously. That, I guess, could also work. In which case, he was definitely using it in the wrong context here. Oh yeah, will-o'-the-wisps too, while I'm checking things off the bestiary. I've encountered plenty of those by now. Must have been drunk enough to see 6 of you. On all sides? Link uses it for grass. Okay, alright. We got some jokers in the chat here. Do the spin move, dude.
You're pathetic.
Battle axe equivalent to the drunken fist. My guy didn't know the spin move. I'll try spinning. That's a neat trick. Is it neat? Is it cool? Is it good? I don't quite remember the line. One of the coolest spaceship designs in Star Wars comes out... Oh, another fucking grizzly bear. Comes out of Episode 1. That was it. Naboo starfighter, the yellow with silver. I am a sucker for that. N1s, is that the technical name for them? And a troll. Troll on the road. Why do you aggro onto me? You're being attacked. You're being, like, completely fucking killed by this guard. Why did you turn and aggro onto me? What was the strat there? Trolls are smart enough to write. Why is that one stupid enough to turn away from the guy that's already walloping it to go after someone who's just gonna wallop it more? Like, the gold and black on this armor should be a dead giveaway to that troll. I am not gonna be an easier kill than a guard. Don't shoot my horse again. Trolls can... Well, one troll can write, at least. It's a dark comedy Easter egg in, I think, Oblivion. You can find a troll that has drunk itself silly and drowned itself under a bridge. And I don't remember what the specifics of the writing are, but it's something to the effect of the troll lamenting not being able to... It's the troll lamenting being a bad bridge troll. And it is actually a written note the troll left before, you know. I say funny. I think funny is a strong word to describe that whole bit, but, like, it is a bit that's somewhere in an Elder Scrolls game, either this or Skyrim, that demonstrates trolls are capable of writing. Darkly see, that's the thing. I don't want to call it comedic, even. It's just dark. It's I guess it's a little funny. I just don't like the subject matter, is what it boils down to. I remembered how to pan the camera around behind me. Yay. I can see things that are chasing me instead of just having to go, I wonder what's chasing me, for like 10 minutes while I wait for it to leave. Alright, that's the road to Kvatch. That appears to be a way shrine. I don't think it's the one we're after. But I may as well check. We're looking for the Shrine to Archay. And this is a shrine to Zenithar. That's an Ayleid well. Ayleid ruin. Random camp out in the middle of nowhere. Maybe I should check the map. Maybe this is the part where I check the map. Yeah, I'm in about the right spot. Despite people complaining to the contrary, the creation engine's come a long way. That draw distance... the draw distance is pretty wild in Oblivion. Yeah, a lot of pop-in. You can fix it with mods, of course, as is the case with every Bethesda game. You can fix it, whatever it is, with mods. But that also creates enough instability that I didn't want to roll with that, because then we'd be crashing every, what, 3 hours? 4? 4 is fine, obviously, because I don't stream for 4 hours, but... Okay, where is... northwest of that little bump? Alright, so I've still got to go a little further west. Agro Wolf en route. They fixed Starfield. They made it an open world Star Wars. Did... Oh! Oh, you're saying a total overhaul, yeah? The Shadow 2.0 release. Yeah, nah. I wish. I wanted to see Starfield succeed. It didn't have my attention, but, like... I'm kind of always in Bethesda's corner. Oblivion was influential to me. Skyrim was influential to someone. Fallout 4 was, I think, a really solid game. Now I'm being pursued by a boar. I think this boar is a Skyrim fan. Picturing it thus allows me to brutally murder it. Adamantly defending 76. I would never defend Fallout 76. Although, when I first saw the trailers and everybody else was going, oh, the giant bat boss fight is clearly just a reskinned dragon fight from Skyrim, I looked at it and I went, no, it fucking isn't. What the hell are you guys talking about? That is a different animation it's using. Like, yeah, okay, semantically speaking, it's sort of the same mechanics, but, like, that is not the same animations. That is not the same animations. That is not the same creature. It's not, I don't believe, dragging a furrow into the ground if it crashes into it. I think you guys are just looking for things to complain about when there's already plenty to complain about any Bethesda game. Plenty. You don't need to make stuff up to find problems with these games. Anyway, we found the 9th way shrine of the 9 divines. Our sins have been washed clean. Try to do multiplayer, even succeeded after putting out a few garbage fires. Yeah, I'll give them that one. I have completed my pilgrimage to the way shrines of the divines. I should pray and wait for a vision to guide me on my quest for the Crusader's relics.
Knight, you seek my relics with a worthy heart.
I think this counts as a vision.
Your prayers have woken me from my endless dream.
It's not Uncle Shao, no.
Have entered my dream, and I still sleep. I think others have sometimes spoken to me. Others like you, but my memory is doubtful.
It's the same VA.
The others came after you. Your need must be great for the gods to allow us to speak. Has Umaril the accursed found a way back? The fattest of a foul race. 1,000 curses upon his unholy name. I thought I'd won, but I should have known. The slave masters are a cunning breed. Umaril found a way to cheat death as I could not. If you would seek for my relics, I know little that can help you. All that has passed since my death is like mists that my mind cannot take hold of. My friends built a shrine upon the site of my death, where the elves tormented me in a final act of revenge. I can show you where it once stood. Perhaps it is there still. Fare thee well, Sir Knight. May the gods grant you to destroy utterly.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's Pelinal Whitestrake sans plasma cannon. Bit of an odd oversight for them to have just excluded that. Upon completing my pilgrimage to the way shrines, I received a vision from the divine crusader Pelinal Whitestrake. He revealed the location of his lost shrine, which is where I should begin my quest for the relics of the Crusader. With that map no longer especially useful to us, let's go ahead and rebind that to torches. Aha! And because we completed the pilgrimage, our infamy from doing the Thieves Guild has been completely wiped out. So we are just famous. I guess if we get any amount of infamy, then we're not allowed to use the relics. I love that Elder Scrolls is the kind of series where I can just offhandedly say / be reminded that Pelennor Whitestrake had a laser cannon arm, and anybody who's been listening to me ramble about this for long enough just won't bat an eye at that. Like, yeah, sure. That makes sense. In a setting where by the 5th era we're inventing space travel, and by the 9th we're inventing time travel, and Pelennor Whitestrake is a cyborg from the future, yes. And fucking the whole Lig thing I was talking about earlier being an imprint of the previous Kalpa's version of Tamriel. Oh yeah, Pelennor Whitestrake is from the 9th era. A book describing him, I'm not sure which one it is, talks about him having an arm that was like ablaze with some furious energy to that, something to that effect. And like between that and him coming from the 9th era as revealed in out-of-game texts, you can certainly interpret that as him having a laser cannon for an arm. You don't need to, but I think it's too hilarious and too kind of cool not to roll with. Double extra racist Terminator Mega Man. That's a surprisingly fun set of words to say, Rox. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, Elder Scrolls lore is buck wild. Everyone's a fragment of a dreaming mind, even the gods, and that's why... and that's why, hypothetically, it's possible for a mortal to attain godhood. Every time the world gets unmade and remade, the important stuff happens on the next continent over, which means that every time you travel east or west, you're traveling forward or backward in time, which also means north is just, like, untime, and I believe south is... lost? Question mark? Was Alduin part of the whole unmaking remaking thing? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Alduin is a mandatory part of the Kalpic cycle. Every time the world is slated to end, he lives up to his name as the World Eater, basically in the process severing the world from the earthbones created by the 9 divines in their sacrifice, temporarily restoring everything to the, is it Mythic era? Is it Dawn era? The pre-Nirn era, and allowing the whole cycle to start over again. Oops, we broke it. We broke it, and then we fixed it, and then we broke... Well, no, I get what you're saying. The end of Skyrim is not us breaking the cycle, it's us telling Alduin, hey, bud, you're too soon. Fuck off for a bit. It's implied he's going to come back at the tail end of the 9th era, and that's when he's supposed to show up. But at that point, it also doesn't matter, because by the end of the 5th era, they've discovered how to make mods, so... That's another fucking grizzly bear. I spent all this time running out into the wilderness trying to avoid these things. Because I saw one and I just didn't want to deal, so... gave it the widest berth imaginable. I don't even know if I'm headed the right... I mean, I must be because I'm following the arrow, but, like... where am I relative to the road right now? I'm not that far. Thought I was farther away. Go fig. Anyway, yeah, end of the 4th era, we beat back Alduin, but we don't, like, kill him. We just tell him to go wait until it's actually time to restart things. And he does. Because, like, what else is he supposed to do, right? He got his ass handed to him. The whole Alduin thing is also very fun to talk about within the context of Oblivion, because I was going to save this for, like, the very end of the Oblivion streams, but I may as well say, before Mehrunes Dagon was made into Mehrunes Dagon on the uncontinent of Lig, he used to be a kindly spirit known as the Leaper, L-E-A-P-E-R, Demon King. And he, along with 2 other kindly spirits, always showed up to distract Alduin at the tail end of the previous Kalpa, steal a piece of the planet away into hiding so that he couldn't eat it, and then essentially stitch it back onto the world at the start of the next Kalpa. So the hope there being eventually the world would be too big for Alduin to eat, the cycle would be broken, that's another Daedroth, and Alduin caught wind of that in the previous Kalpa and punished the Leaper Demon King by making him into Mehrunes Dagon, essentially. Cursed him to destroy all that he had sewn back onto the world until it was back to the correct size. And that is why he's the Daedric Prince of Destruction. Those 2 other spirits that were helping him out, for anyone curious, are the Ruddy Man, who I don't know if we have an identity of for sure, and I think her name at the time was Merid Nun, now known as the Daedric Prince Meridia. Am I getting chased by a mountain lion again? No, it's a troll. A new hand touches... Yep, that Meridia. Can this troll chill? Can this troll chill out a little bit? Oh, and the wolf? Can the troll and the wolf chill out a little bit? I'm kind of trying to do something here, guys. The Ruddy Man is also Molag Bal and Vivek's monster son, which, again, Vivek and weird chronology, because by all counts, the Ruddy Man happened in the previous Kalpa, not in the current one, and yet Vivek didn't, to my knowledge, exist in the previous Kalpa. It's fun. Elder Scrolls deep lore nonsense is fun. You gotta remember that all of this... Yeah, that's true. All of this is a dream. By default, what exactly are dragon breaks? Dragon breaks are when time stops working for a bit. Like, just completely breaks down. I don't know the specific... the specifics behind it, but yeah, like Rox said, time is no. Are those wild horses? Stop attacking my horse. Damn, 2 shots from a wolf and my horse is knocked down to half health. Are these wild horses, though? Yeah, there's just... I never knew there were wild horses in Cyrodiil. Look at this. And there's another wolf. It's hard to describe a dragon break in any more detail than just to say time is no, or it's what happens when time completely breaks down, because, like, anything you can think of that would qualify under the descriptor of time breaking down probably has occurred in a dragon break. People give birth to their own parents level of weird. Yeah, the paint horse texture is very cute. This guy's wearing orcish. Give me that. Give me it. Orcish Cuirass, 10. Imperial Dragon Cuirass, 4, but mostly broken. Sequential causal time stops functioning. All potential events occur at once and without respect to traditional logic. That's a really good way to word it, yeah. Mountain Dew bottle battle. Mine's better. Let's fix up my chest plate, see how it compares. Mine is 9, and his is 10. Nations go to war with their past and future selves. Events occur before their causes and, in fact, cause their causes. And the only people capable of keeping track of time in all of that, I believe I've mentioned this before, are the Khajiit, who track the moons, which are the only things noted to stay stable during the whole situation. And that's how we know there used to be a dragon break that lasted 1,008 years. What's even on this Cuirass? Resist magic 11%? I could probably enchant this one with something comparable. Not that it's even going to matter, because what are we doing right now, right? We're working towards getting a set of enchanted armor that's better than what I've got. Better defense, levels with us, better enchantments. It is also how they handle canonicity for prior game events, yeah. Like the Warp in the West at the end of Elder Scrolls 2. Where you have 6 different endings you can participate in, and to reconcile the fact that none of those go together, they said a dragon break happened, so none of those go together, yes, correct, but they all happened. What I'm learning from this is that Mundus is just Swiss cheese. Yeah, basically. Actually, it literally is, isn't it? Because, like, the stars and the sun are holes to Aetherius. So, literally, yes, Mundus is Swiss cheese. Aha. All the way down at the bottom of the Upper Nibbin, at the edge of Lake Rumar. A stone door to an Ayleid ruin. With clams. Pick up Mundus and roll it down a giant mountain with the rest of the cheese. Quite literally an 11th Doctor finale plot, what you're describing with the time breaks. Huh. Yeah, you know, I think I was there to see that. I don't remember everything I saw from Doctor Who, but I'm pretty sure I was there for the tail end of 11. I love that there's just clams in here. I don't love that there's skeleton heroes in here. Kime lets you say fuck the rules. Yeah? Kime is what happens when you discover you are part of the dreaming god responsible for the invention of the whole world, and instead of ceasing to exist, you say, but what if I exist anyway? And that's how you unlock console commands. Travel to different times like they're different places. For a start, it's also implied that the reason Cyrodiil doesn't look like a jungle as it's described in most lore books made prior to Elder Scrolls 4 is a direct consequence of either the place being shouted into this nice non-tropical paradise, or a consequence of the Ayleids being driven extinct and humanity taking over the Imperial City. because that right there is White Gold Tower, and that is one of the Earth Bones that I believe I mentioned a little while back when I talked about how the Kalpic cycle works. All the towers in Elder Scrolls, like, what word am I looking for? Geography, I guess? All the towers in Elder Scrolls Geography, and they don't have to be literal towers. They can be, one of them is the Throat of the World in Skyrim, another one is Red Mountain in Morrowind, are essentially holding the planet intact. Like, that's what's keeping the planet anchored so that time makes sense. Dragon breaks notwithstanding. If you were to either destroy the towers or destroy their corresponding stone, because each tower has an object which is essentially a symbol of its presence, then theoretically you could unmake the world and revert everything to the chaotic soup that existed before everybody became mortal. On that note, the Amulet of Kings was White Gold Tower's stone, so that being broken at the end of Elder Scrolls 4 when Martin sacrificed himself to release the Avatar of Akatosh means that White Gold Tower is no longer functional as an Earthbone. That doesn't necessarily mean anything for the surrounding landscape. I'm pretty sure it can hold itself together as long as all the other towers do, but if the other towers fall apart, everything gets wiped. Red Mountain also has a stone, and that was the, can stones be remade? I don't think they can. To give an idea of how difficult it would be to remake a stone, another example of a stone for a tower would be the Heart of Lorkhan from the end of Elder Scrolls 3. So, to answer the question, can stones be remade? Only if you know how to make the heart of a god. Red Mountain has a stone called the Master Emerald. Okay. I guess that's technically true. Not the same Red Mountain, obviously, but a Red Mountain, certainly. So, someone with Kime needs to know the item ID for the Heart of a God. They also need to be aware that that's what's going on here. Just pull a Star Trek and punch through to the Mirror Universe and steal their stone. I'm sure that won't have any major ramifications. Also, I don't think there's a Mirror Universe, although there is Lig. I was talking about Lig. Mirror version of a past Kalpa's Tamriel. Alright, Rox. Thanks for tuning in and helping me explain all the weird, weird mythology of the Elder Scrolls series. Have a good one. Dragonborn with an evil beard. That could just be the Dragonborn. Now here's what we're after. The Shrine of the Crusader. Digging through Kirkbride's drug coffin for notes written on Arby's napkins. Incidentally, speaking of napkins, if I'm remembering correctly, the out-of-universe explanation for Lig, the, Doyalist, I believe is the term, explanation for Lig's existence is that the place where they were working on drafting the map of Tamriel caught fire once, and they ended up with rain-soaked mess of a map when the sprinklers went off. So that's where they got the idea for Lig, if I'm remembering right. They had to remake the map and it wasn't quite the same. And if that bit of story is right, I really, really like them putting that spin on how their world works. Sir Amiel, holding a Knights of the Nine shield and a fine steel longsword. I've found the body of Sir Amiel, who appears to have perished centuries ago while questing for the Shrine of the Crusader. Perhaps I can find some clues on his body that will help my own quest for the Crusader's relics turn out better than his. A key, a ring, and a journal. Sir Amiel was a member of the Knights of the Nine, a holy order devoted to recovering the relics of the Crusader. Through reading his journal, which I haven't done yet, game, I've learned the location of their former headquarters, the Priory of the Nine in the West Weald. Once I've recovered the helm from the Shrine of the Crusader, I should proceed to the old Priory. Would that I could read, but I'm in combat, so... Now, let's read Sir Amiel's journal. Speed reading as soon as you dash over a corpse. Okay, that's 14 pages. This journal is a record of failure. My failure. In the immediate sense, this is no doubt obvious. If you are reading this, you are probably standing over my body, slain in the depths of the Shrine of the Crusader. Perhaps the gods granted me the gift of at least glimpsing the holy helm before I died, undeserving though I am. I must believe that you are indeed a holy knight, following in my footsteps in quest of the Crusader's relics. It is to you, Sir Knight of my hopes, that I direct these words. May the account of my failures help you avoid my fate. Looting a body in combat is allowed, but reading isn't. Right? It's weird. I think they removed that restriction in Skyrim. Know that my failures encompass far more than my own death, which is of little account at the end of a long life. The high ideals of the Knights of the Nine, of service to the gods rather than men, of dedication to a higher purpose, these are my failures, as I shall record here. As I write this, the scratching of my pen, the only sound in the empty priory, I am preparing to embark on my last quest for the helm of the Crusader. I know that my chance of success is small. I am too old for such a task. This quest should have been taken up by the next generation of Knights of the Nine, while Sir Caius and Sir Beric and the rest of us stayed behind and spun tales of our days of glory. Alas, there is no next generation. Sir Beric is my embittered enemy. The rest of my old companions are all dead. There is only me, the last stubborn knight of a failed order. For many years I blamed Sir Beric for the dissolution of the order, but in my old age I have finally come to recognize my own part in those tragic events. I now believe that the seeds of our destruction were sown early, although the fruit did not ripen until late. Even in the first heady days, questing for the cuirass with Sir Caius and Sir Torolf, I set the pattern of personal glory. The cuirass was mine, and although it resided in the priory, I wore it into battle and accepted the acclaim of my fellows and the people for its recovery. And so it went. The sword and greaves recovered by Sir Beric became his personal arms, and the gauntlets to Sir Casimir. Why not? Shall the holy weapons lie idle while there was evil to be vanquished? And who more fitting to carry them than the knight who had proved himself worthy by their sheer recovery? So we told ourselves. So I told myself, but all that followed flowed from this. When Sir Beric wanted to take his relics with him to the war, who was I to forbid him? I, who had jealously considered the cuirass my own and none other's. Sir Beric was wrong, but I was wrong first, and the blame for the dispute over the relics falls first on me, the leader and founder of the Knights, who should have set a higher example, but was instead first to claim a relic for my own. Sir Beric's later actions I will leave for others to judge, but let it be known that I do not blame him for the dissolution of the Knights. If he would speak to me, I would tell him so myself. He and I are now all that are left of the original knights. The others are all dead, and I have dedicated myself to recovering their bodies and interring them in the Priory Undercroft. He was wrong, but I was wrong first is juicy, right? Yeah, no, I like this. I'm liking this. I don't think I've ever actually read his journal, which is a tragic mistake on my part. Interring them in the Priory Undercroft, as is fitting for such holy warriors. Alas, that they did not have the leader that they deserved. Now it is time for me to depart on my quest for the helm. If you would follow in my footsteps, Sir Knight, know that the Priory basement, at least, will remain inviolate. I have sealed the stairs, and only my ring will now open it. My brother knights will sleep in peace, in company with the cuirass, the only relic that remains in the Order's keeping. I say that, although the Order is officially dissolved, hoping and believing that the Knights of the Nine will one day be reborn. Perhaps you are the one to restore the Order. If so, go to the Priory in the West Weald. Use my ring to enter the vaults beneath the Priory House. There you will find the cuirass, and claim it for your own, if you are a true knight. May the Nine guard and guide you. Farewell. Sir Amiel, Priory of the Nine, the West Weald, County Skingrad, year 153 of the Septim Era. So in theory, all I should have to do is get up there. Looks like a pretty holy flame roaring up that way. Clearly I'm not getting up there that way. Oh. If there's a timeline branch, are we in the deviated Septim Era? Come on. Heather. Heather, no. Door to the Lost Catacombs. We'll hold off on opening that until I can verify there's no other way up there. There was another door back this way. And this goes to Vanua. Alright. The Lost Catacombs it presumably is, then. Unless I can just jump this. And I can. That feels dirty. I'm not doing that. Instead... Alright, we have to go through the Lost Catacombs to get there. We have to. There's no alternative. Ah! Skelebones. If only an undeviated Septim Knight guy could parkour. Gets rid of that one. Oh, Sir Amiel, yeah? Sir Emmerich. I've contracted astral vapors. What does astral vapors do to me as a disease? What does that one do? Damage magicka, stunted magicka, weakness to magic. Weakness to magic is enough. I'm gonna pop a cure disease potion. I hear they're good in astral winters. Okay, Ancient Ghost over that way. Shrine of the Crusader up there. Let's get rid of the Ancient Ghost first. Easy. There's at least one other creature in here, though, it sounds like. Or not. What's... Hold on. There's 2 doors to the shrine. Why are there 2 doors? Where's this one go? Alright. Then what's the point of the other door? Hold on, what's... Does it even connect over here? It doesn't. Alright, well... We're here for the helmet. I'm gonna grab the helmet. The Helm of the Crusader. I've recovered the Helm of the Crusader, the first piece of the Crusader's relics. Now that I've recovered the helm, I should proceed to the Priory of the Nine to see if it still holds the cuirass of the Crusader. I'd make a joke about British history here if I didn't use up my pun charity for the week. Go ahead and do it anyway. Imperial Dragon Helmet resists shock 20%. Helm of the Crusader fortifies restoration and personality. Next, the codpiece. I'm stumped by the idea that I would have a need for that. Fortified personality is funny to me. It just makes you, like, it just makes you a better person. No, it makes you a more likable person. Wear this helmet and the racist population of Cyrodiil may not want to claw your eyes out. Anyway, until I get out of combat, I can't see how it stacks up to this helmet I'm already wearing. Codpiece implies the existence of the salmon piece and the ill-tempered sea bass piece. Oh my god, Heather, that's a stinker! You're in a medieval Britain-inspired fantasy setting and you're asking why Tudors are here.
Ah!
Come on.
Yeah!
Oh, the skeletons in Oblivion do collapse. See? Loose pile of bones. That one had a glass claymore. Die in one hit. I see. What is still aggroed onto me? Probably just something else clipped through a wall. This... No, that leads back in. Damn it. One reason I do want to reattempt Oblivion at some point is spellcrafting. Oh, spellcrafting is a joy. H, were you here for me making the most busted early game spell imaginable, Curse of Rending? For a surprisingly reasonable magicka cost, 100 point drain health spell for 1 second. Obviously, if the enemy you're fighting has more than 100 points of health, it's not going to do anything. But even later on, once it stopped being a one-hit kill, it remained, okay, I've hit you enough now for Touch of Death spell. Very, very handy piece of the kit. And then I just barely ever use it, because 100 points is a lot. The execution button. Exactly. Alright, back out we go. I am still under siege. God knows what from. Inventing glory kills in 2010. A couple years late. I believe Oblivion was 2008. Fallout 3 was 2000. Oh, wow. Oblivion was 06. Damn. I would love to know what's still aggroed onto me from that dungeon, now that I'm this far away from it. Steals your kill? Someday the remaster will go on sale for like $5 and I will get it for you because I'm not sending current Microsoft $70 for many reasons. Yeah, understandable. I do actually have the remaster available to play via family sharing. Right now it's not the cost of it that's prohibitively expensive, it's the file size of it. 140 gigs just to play Oblivion again with tweaked rules. Seriously, what is aggroed onto me? I can't fast travel, and I can't wait, and I can't repair my gear until this thing stops attacking me. Whatever it is. Western game dev has been here, meme. Yeah? Threat aura. Ah, that would explain it. Can you turn that off? I'm trying to do something. That's interesting. Vanua isn't marked on the world map. It's a passive. Can you respec out of it? I'm really feeling the effect. It's a racial passive. Ah, shit. Alright. Going back into the dungeon I just cleared because I didn't clear it hard enough and something is trying to kill me from 20 miles away. Oh, I wish. Must make it transparent. I think this is where the combat music started up again, so whatever I'm fighting should be somewhere in here. Do I have a detect life potion? I do. 60 feet for 30 seconds. Can I make that count? Probably. Sorry, I thought I heard something else causing footsteps there. Like something was landing right next to me. Let's pop the potion here. Me again, sorry. H, you gotta stop sneaking up on me like that. Glork. It is a hearty quaff if ever there has been one in a video game. Alright. Didn't detect it. And of course, the minute I reload, it stops being aggroed onto me. Okay. Alright. Let's repair my gear, because I wanted to see how the two helmets stack up. That's the skeleton key. Okay, helmet I've got, 4. Helmet of the Crusader, 4. You cannot equip that item, not with that attitude. Hey, I'm... Oh, it's aggroed on me in here somewhere. Why? Da-da, 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 da-da. Do I have a detect? I do have a detect life spell. Does it work on skill? I'm pretty sure it does. I don't think there's any detect unlifes. Did not solve the mystery, but did solve that if I'm being aggroed onto by something, I can probably just save here, reload the save, and we're good. Cool. My horse is on the other side of this bridge, isn't it? Steel fins is cute. Yeah, thank you. I didn't want to just roll with coffee with milk again. I wanted something a little more in-universe appropriate. That's a highwayman.
Yeah!
The way they just fold. Coffee with milk is also good. It is. You've been referring to her with the name of my previous Oblivion character. I changed this one to Steel Fins because it just seemed more straightforward, I guess. Tea with milk. I'll get back to you on that one. There's my horse. I need to drink some water. Sorry, brief intermission. I'm just gonna chill here. We're just gonna chill on this screen while I get some water. What was I gonna name my Khajiit in Skyrim? You know, I feel like I had an answer to that and then I lost it. Oh my god, water is good. Why isn't anyone talking about this? Alright. Water tastes so good no matter who's in my ear. Sentences that are going to sound real weird to anyone who's not reading the chat. The earbun of pro water. That's gonna sound even stranger to anyone not reading the chat. What are we playing here? Who can make me make the weirdest sentence?
Am I supposed to be impressed? You'll make a fine
Yes.
pair of boots, lizard.
Don't you dare shoot my horse. I will reduce you to ash. Do I have a scroll? Do I have a healing scroll for this poor deer? Definitely none of those. Minor heal other. There you go. It's not much, but it's something. We got any more? Soothing touch, no. Weakness to magicka, no. Alright. Well, it's better than nothing. You know what I could do? I could get my horse armored. Wagga Baba Bobo lives in my head rent-free. Southwest. Ah, I have been there. You know what? I may as well show off some of the DLC, right? Let's go get some horse armor. Let's go to the Chestnut Handy Stables and get some armor for my horse.
A pleasure to see you.
Not you. Inside the stables. Okay.
Hi there. Greetings, champion. I'm at your service.
I'm here about the missive for horse armor you distributed.
What can I interest you in?
I'd like steel armor for my horse.
Here you are, just like I promised. Thanks again for all the help.
Snack Grabura armored my horse for free. From now on, she will outfit any legally owned horse that I bring to her with steel or elven armor for 500 gold. There we go. There's a good horsey. Morse armor. I guess. Back to Pell's Gate.
It's you. Hi.
What's new with you?
Where's
I've heard that the Nords of
Where's
Skyrim
Horsey?
have been warring with the Redarin of Morrow. Not bad.
What's the news from the other parts of
What was the wooden clonk? What did that?
The Daedra lay waste to the old holds, and there is little to do to stop it.
It seems it is a dire situation throughout all of Tamriel.
Leave me alone.
Hello?
Alright, well, Horsey wants to stay in the stables, so... Yeah. Alright, buddy. Come on. We'll go there the old-fashioned way. The jank NPC die. It's so good. It's so good. There's this one mod I remember having installed years and years ago, and I wish I knew what it was called. There's actually some... We'll get to buy the strength soon enough, SB. Don't worry. Although, maybe not the way that... Was that Bacon? I think that was Bacon that experienced that. We're probably not going to run into whatever bug that was. Anyway, there is, in the game files, some cut dialogue from NPCs where they would talk to themselves. It's just little one-off dialogue bits that they have. I had a mod that restored that, so every so often I'd get, for instance... And I like this one, because, like, clearly the developers knew the conversations had their limits. Sometimes I'd get an NPC that would go, "Everyone is talking, but no one's saying anything." Don't NPCs steal stuff and get arrested for it? I don't know about getting arrested for it, but occasionally, yes, NPCs will steal things. I've never seen someone get arrested for it. I've been going the wrong way. You're supposed to be going this way. My sibling says that they're pretty sure the guards don't get arrested. The guards just jump straight to killing them. Oh, God. NPC interactions in Oblivion are... I shouldn't say are, but at least have the potential to be some of the funniest stuff in any video game. Unfortunately, games tend to work pretty well for me, so... We're just getting a normal fantasy RPG. Instead of whatever's going on that would cause by the strength. I should look up a link to that video so people don't just think I'm spouting nonsense here. Yeah, give me... You know what? Give me a sec. I'll save, I'll tab out, I'll risk crashing the stream for this. I'll just link it in chat. My sibling may have sent me the link. Yeah, that's the one. I won't watch it on stream because it's someone else's video, but there, for anyone interested. Just watch that whole, thing. And in the meantime, I'll keep heading to the Priory of the Nine. I am obsessed with that video. And we're headed pretty much due south. Funniest Bethesda game moment for me has to be at the start of Starfield. If you time a grenade just right, the pirate captain says, "You gotta be kidding me," and then explodes. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. Just jellifies. Oh, troll out of nowhere. From the same creator under People Also Watch This is a video titled "My Horse Has Malfunctioned." I'm gonna need to check that out. It is not, by the way, Bacon. The name was Wilburger? Is that correct? Wilburger? Wilburger. So, shout out to Wilburger for "By the Strike." My Horse Has Malfunctioned is 29 minutes long. That's exciting. And yes, I'm okay with you posting the link, Ori. I will not watch it on stream. I don't want to risk crashing the game any more than I have, too. But I will definitely check that out. Oh, it censored it. Tell you what, send it to me over Discord. I'll take care of the rest. Almost at the Priory of the Nine. Hopefully this bear isn't interested in joining. Hopefully that wolf is also not interested in joining. Oh, the wolf wants to sign up. Alright. Move my horsey into the stable. Here they come. The way the horse's head bobs. In first-person view, I'm assuming. Feels very horse on a stick. It does. Alright, there's that save done. Let's check for a link. Coconut's clapping. There's the link. Oh, yes, I screamed the whole time. I know this one. There you go. Alright, into the Priory we go. The Adabal Ah. Editor's note. The Adabal Ah is traditionally believed to be the memoirs of Morahouse, the consort to Alessia, the slave queen. While this cannot be historically verified, the Adabal Ah is certainly among the oldest written accounts to come down to us from the early First Era. Pelinal's death. And in the blood-floored throne room of white gold, the severed head of Pelinal spoke to the winged bull Morahouse, demigod lover of Alesh, saying, "Our enemies have undone me, and spread my body into hiding. In mockery of divine purpose, the Aelids cut me into eighths, for they are obsessed with this number." And Morahouse, confused, snorted through his ring, saying, "Your crusades went beyond her counsel, Whitestrake, but I am a bull, and therefore reckless in my wit. I think I would go and gore our prisoners if you had left any alive. You are blood made glorious, uncle, and will come again as fox, animal, or light. Cyrodiil is still ours. Then Pellinel spoke again for the last time. Beware, Moray House, beware. With the foresight of death, I know now that my foe yet lives, bitter knowledge to take to my grave. Better that I had died believing myself the victor. Although cast beyond the doors of night, he will return. Be vigilant. I can no longer shield the host of men from Umaril's retribution. Alessia's youth during the slave years. Perif's original tribe is unknown, but she grew up in Sard, anon Sardavar Lead, where the Aelids herded in men from across all the Niben. Cothri, Need, Al-Gemma, men of Creeth, though these were later known to be imported from the north. Keptu, men of Jay, who were eventually destroyed when the Flower King Nilichi made great sacrifice to an insect god named Lost. Al-Hared, men of Ket, others. But this was Cyrodiil, the heart of the Imperatum Salice, where men knew no freedom, even to keep family, or choice of name except in secret. And so to their alien masters all of these designations were irrelevant. Men were given over to the lifting of stones and the draining of fields and the upkeep of temple and road, or to become art tortures for strange pleasures, as in the wailing wheels of Vindicel and the gut gardens of Cercin, and flesh sculpture which was everywhere among the slaves of the Aelids in those days, or worse, the realms of the Fire King Hadhul, where the begetting of drugs drawn from the admixture of daedrons into living hosts let one inhale new visions of torment, and children were set aflame for nighttime tiger sport. And then he spoke again for the last time as such a Vivek phrasing. I am 99.9995% certain this is written by Michael Kirkbride. Moray House explains Alessia's names. Then Moray House said to them, In your tales you have many names for her. Al-Esh given to her in awe, that when translated sounds like a redundancy, the high from which come the more familiar corruptions. Alashut, Esha, Alessia. You knew her as Paravant, given to her when crowned, first of its kind, by which the gods meant a mortal worthy of the majesty that is killing, questing, healing, which is also Paraval, Pavesh, Parathu, Perif, and, in my case, for it is what I called her when we were lovers, Paravania. Though she is gone to me, she remains bathed in stars, first Empress, Lady of Heaven, Queen ut Serod. And they considered themselves full answered, and departed. Song of Pellinel, Volume 7, huh? Oh. Volume 7, on his battle with Umaril and his dismemberment. Editor's note. This fragment comes from a manuscript recovered from the ruins of the Alessian Order's monastery at Lake Canulus, which dates it to some time prior to the War of Righteousness, First Era 2321. However, textual analysis suggests that this fragment actually preserves a very early form of the song, perhaps from the mid-6th century. And so, after many battles with Umaril's allies, where dead Aurorans lay like candlelight around the throne, the Pellinel became surrounded by the last Aeliad sorcerer kings and their demons, each one heavy with varliance. The White Strake cracked the floor with his mace, and they withdrew, and he said, "Bring me Umaril that called me out." And while mighty in his aspect and wicked, deathless golden Umaril favored ruin from afar over close combat, and so he tarried in the shadows of the White Tower before coming forth. More soldiers were sent against Pellinel to die, and yet they managed to pierce his armor with axes and arrows, for Umaril had wrought each one by long varliance, which he had been hoarding since his first issue of challenge. Presently the half-elf showed himself bathed in meridian light, and he listed his bloodline in the Aeliodun and spoke of his father, a god of the previous Kalpa's world river, and taking great delight in the heavy breathing of Pellinel, who had finally bled. Text lost. And Umaril was laid low, the angel face of his helm dented into an ugliness which made Pellinel laugh, and his unfeathered wings broken off with sword strokes delivered while Pellinel stood frothing above him, insulting his ancestry, and anyone else that took ship from old Elnafay, which angered the other elvish kings and drove them to a madness of their own. And they fell on him, speaking to their weapons, cutting the Pellinel into eighths, while he roared in confusion which even the council of skiffs could hear. text lost, ran when Mor shook the whole of the tower with mighty bashing from his horns the next morning. And some were slain in overabundance in the taking, and men looked for more Aliads to kill, but Pelennor had left none save those kings and demons that had already begun to flee. It was Morahouse who found the White Strake's head, which the kings had left to prove their deeds, and they spoke, and Pelennor said things of regrets, but the rebellion had turned anyway, and more words were said between the immortals that even the Paravant would not deign to hear. Anyone that took ship, anyone that didn't get the hell out of Dodge was slain, and that's how the Aliad Empire fell, I believe, is the implication. Anyway, the reason we're here is to look for the chest piece of this whole set of armor, and unfortunately they've made it a little bit painfully obvious what you're supposed to interact with around here, because we've never seen this symbol before. Sir Amiel's ring fits perfectly into the diamond-shaped opening in the floor. I forgot about that. That's a nice touch. Here I am about to complain about how obvious they made the thing you're supposed to interact with, but no, that does make up for it. Giving it a cool animation to let you access the basement. Oh, they've got calipers here. And now they don't. Lots of miscellaneous bits and bobs, including light armor, cuirass, and shield. And then this very old-looking door. I was about to say, the cuirass appears unguarded. Not so much now.
By the strength and guidance
There he
of the
is.
Nine, who comes before us upon this sacred ground, seeking the cuirass of the divine Crusader? Step forward, adventurer, and face us each in honorable combat. For the vows we fail to revere in life, we shall uphold in death. No unworthy soul shall lay hands upon this sacred artifact without the leave of the Knights of the Nine.
Again with the spin move. Nothing to loot from him. Yeah, and he just gets back up. Okay, I like that.
Sir Gregory, you are defeated. Sir Casimir, step forward. Impressive. You have bested Sir Casimir. Now face Sir Ralphus.
Such a nice, yeah! Also, calipers and the Adoring Fan show up in Starfield.
Let the challenge continue.
I knew about the Adoring Fan.
Henrik, come forward and prove yourself.
Calipers are news to me. Just laid him out.
You have overcome half of us, and yet you remain standing. Perhaps Sir Caius shall test your true mettle.
I feel like I should be turning the difficulty up for this. I won't.
Show a fury of faith that I have not seen in centuries. But now you face Sir Junkin.
The knockback on that spell. Oh my god.
You have lost, Sir Junkin. Sir Torolf, show the challenger the ferocity of the North.
Bonk.
You have stood against the Knights of the Nine and lived. However, the final test is upon you. Ready yourself, Sir Knight, and face
5 skillets.
me.
Okay, this guy I'll turn up the difficulty for. That seems appropriate. A little higher than the middle. How about that? Oh, all right. He does damage. Ooh, he does damage. This would make a good time for Curse of Rending. If I can hit him with it. There we go. Yeah. No, that felt good. And back down the slider goes. I think it was about here.
In 300 years, none have stood against us and lived. Step forward and claim what is yours by right. May your faith be true.
I've defeated the ghostly guardians of the Cuirass of the Crusader. I can now claim it for my own.
By the Nine, I've not seen such strength. Could you be... No, you cannot. You are simply a noble knight.
You're the one that wrote the journal. Did you ever hear from Sir Beric?
One of the mightiest knights of my day. It was a great boost to the Order's prestige when he joined. Unfortunately, he and I did not see eye to eye on certain matters. He left the Order during the War of the Red Diamond and never returned.
I acquired the helm that you were attempting to retrieve.
You completed the quest that I could not. I'm glad that my death at least served to lead you here, as I had hoped.
You say you are in service to the Knights of the Nine.
The original Order of the Nine was founded with the intention of safekeeping the Crusader's relics. In life, We failed at this task. In death, we seek to preserve what little we accomplish while we wait for one to come and finish what we began. May the Nine guide your way.
I've recovered the cuirass of the Crusader. I should talk to the ghosts of the former Knights of the Nine to see if they can aid me in my quest for the remaining Crusader's relics. And I'm encumbered. Of course I am. 10 versus 12. Yeah, that's not a competition. I'll just drop this Orcish cuirass. Let's try it on. Fortify Restoration, resist normal weapons, and fortify health. That's swanky. As would be the helmet. Serene Beauty added. Is that a passive or an active? An active. Calm up to level 25 for 10 seconds on touch. That's not bad. Up to level 25 is good for a calm spell. Also, I just love how this armor looks. I've always been a sucker for this set.
Greetings, Sir Knight.
You were a member of the Knights of the Nine, correct?
In death, we continue the work that escaped us in life. The relics must still be guarded, for someday they shall be needed once more.
Very well.
May the Nine guide your way.
Sir Juncan.
I wish to see you succeed where I failed. I was on the path to the boots of the Crusader, but died before I reached them. Do you wish to learn what little I know?
Certainly. Tell me more.
I cannot tell you exactly how to find the boots, for that will be up to Kinnereth. I can tell you to seek out her priests, though. West of the Imperial City, on the edge of the Great Forest, is a shrine. You will find them there, and they will tell you what you need to know.
Thank you.
Go with virtue.
Sir Torolf.
How may I serve you, Commander?
You were a member of the Knights of the Nine. Can you tell me anything about them?
Complacency proved to be our greatest enemy. The service of the Nine requires eternal vigilance.
I see.
May the Nine guide your way.
Sir Casimir.
I know where you may find the gauntlets of the Crusader, for I was the one who lost them. Though many know where they are still lost. I believe there is something you must do in order to retrieve them. Would you listen to my tale and learn of the gauntlet's fate?
Certainly.
When the Order fractured, I followed Sir Beric into war, taking the gauntlets with me. When it was over, I returned to Cyrodiil. I attempted to return to the service of the Nine, but the war had changed me. I no longer had sympathy for the weak or pity for the suffering. In the brief time I was there, I did more to hurt the chapel than help it. It was there that I was cursed.
Cursed? What sort of curse?
A beggar who came to the chapel each day for help tried my patience one too many times. I lost my temper and struck him. My blow landed harder than I had intended, and he fell to the floor dead, killed in the very chapel of the God of Mercy. I left the chapel at once, of course, but the damage was done. I was weak, constantly weary, and lacked the energy to do almost anything.
And what of the gauntlets?
Ah, yes. As proof of the deed, when I struck the poor man, the gauntlets slipped right off my hands and fell to the floor. Heavy as stone, they would not move. None could lift them. I suspect they lie there still, in Coral's chapel. You must prove to Stendarr you are worthy to lift the gauntlets once more. Seek out the priests in Coral. Perhaps they can help you. May the Nine guide your way.
So Ralvus, wasn't it?
You have my tribute, Sir Knight. In 300 years, none have passed the gauntlet. In 300 years, we have never known hope. But for the first time, it seems that someone may succeed where we have failed. I see in you the chance to redeem our souls and restore the Order. And now, I must ask you to press forward where I could not. I must ask you to face the challenge of Zenithar.
How did you fail, Knight?
I was arrogant and foolhardy. I sought personal glory. I placed my own will and my own lust for fame over the will of the Nine. In facing the challenge of Zenithar, I failed. I tried dozens, no, hundreds of times to reach the mace. I fell each time, and each time I awoke in the chapel, I leapt again. I tried to enlist the help of the other knights, but none would come to my aid. The inscription says to walk in the faith, but even now, I do not know what this means.
What do you suppose I must do?
Below the chapel of Zenithar in Leowyn, there is a shrine to the great craftsman, Saint Calidus. Those seeking the mace must pray before the shrine. When you bow, you will receive a vision. Or perhaps not. It is unclear. The priest saw that my body never moved, but it felt so real. You will see the mace separated from you by a great chasm. The chasm represents your doubt. Your faith must be your guide across it.
My faith will guide me?
This is what I know. As I said, my faith was weak. I did not understand the test, and I fell from the platform each time I tried to cross. I have told you all that I know. All that is left is for you to prove yourself more worthy than I. If you seek the mace, travel to Leowyn's chapel, kneel at the shrine in the Undercroft, and let your faith in the Nine be the salvation of us all.
Very well.
Go with virtue.
Sir Henrik, I believe it was.
If you are true to the teachings of Julianus, it may be possible for you to find the shield of the Crusader.
Are you sure you pronounced that name right? I mean, what do you mean?
When the Order crumbled, I set out on my own. After years of searching, I found the shield and brought it to Fort Bulwark for safekeeping. With the help of a few trusted friends, I began work to keep the shield safe for all eternity. I never saw my work finished. I died defending the fort from those who would take and misuse the shield. I never saw our work finished. I trust that the others carried on without me.
Fort Bulwark. I can't say I'm familiar.
It lies in the southeast of Cyrodiil, near the Black Marsh border. If all went according to plan, it should be very well guarded now. Believe in yourself, and use your knowledge wisely. You will pass through unharmed, and the shield will be yours.
Understood.
May your...
I've spoken with the ghosts of the Knights of the Nine and learned where several parts of the armor of the Crusader are hidden. I should return when I've collected them all.
sword strike true.
And you, Sir Gregory, wasn't it?
I am at your service, Commander.
Have you any insight into the nature of the Knights of the Nine?
In matters of faith, one cannot be bogged down in the affairs of this world. Learn from us. Cast aside your treasures and serve the Nine.
My treasures are manifold and quite relevant to my journey. Do you suppose they'll make exceptions?
May your sword strike true.
A mystery for another time, perhaps. Level 18. With the life you've been living, the punishment your body has taken, there are limits, and maybe you've reached them. Is this what it's like to grow old? 90 points in strength, that's an important breakpoint. Endurance, and let's pop one more into intelligence. Alright, so now we have a few different quests to embark on. For the shield, the mace, the gauntlets, and the boots. I don't think we have enough time for any of these just on their own. Let's try the gauntlets. Change of plans, folks. Outside, I don't want to say interference. That feels like an impolite word, but extenuating circumstances mean, and it's nothing serious. This is not me like trying to mask someone is in the hospital, but extenuating circumstances mean I should probably stop the stream now. It would be in the best interests of all involved for me to call an early end to today's stream. Probably for the best in any case, because like I said, I don't think we're going to be able to do any of these quests in the 10 minutes remaining, so good place to leave off for the time being. Abrupt though that ending is, thank you all very much for joining me on today's stream. Next stream will be Thursday, February 12th at 2 p.m. If you missed today's episode or you just want to rewatch it at a later date, you can catch it on the archives on YouTube. If you want to stay up to date on when we're going streaming, type info to get a link to our Discord and our Blue Sky. And if you enjoyed the stream and you either have $5 on hand or you are an Amazon Prime subscriber, consider subscribing to the channel to gain access to the 3 emotes you see on the screen there. Cogchamp, Strawshade, and Angiu. Yeah, there you go. Those emotes provided by friend of the channel, One Cool Cat, Sonia, who was just here in chat saying fun stream. Sonia also handily provided the background for my starting soon. There she is. If you want credit for that, if you want a direct link to her Blue Sky or to the background provider for most of the rest of my channel, type art credit in chat. Alright folks, that's going to do it for today's stream. Once again, the next stream will be 2 p.m. Pacific, Thursday, February 12th. Look forward to seeing y'all there. And in the meantime, very tempted to say you're a bot. Don't do that, because that flags you for us being, like, for us kicking you on sight. But, one last time, Tuesday, February 12th, 2 p.m. Pacific. Look forward to seeing anyone that can make it there. We will be picking up with more Oblivion. I want to do more of this questline. I love Knights of the Nine. Until then, I've been Mocha. This has been Strawbunny Slime Streams. You've all been fantastic. Take care of yourselves and have a fantastic evening.